Okay guys, we're ready to not only swim but also fish today. There's a bunch of big catfish down at the bottom. Lydia and I wanted to fish with our fishing poles, but Kevin has a Kevin's craft idea. All right, so Kevin wants to try to lay this bird netting down and then entice them over with food and then snatch them up. We'll see if this works. Well, this net plan is not working. They're all very much too scared to come up to it. Okay guys, we're not gonna listen to Kevin's plan. We're gonna do it ourselves.
We're gonna fish.
We're good fisher
people.
We're good at it.
We're so good.
We're gonna go for it. We have got some shrimp and some kind of dried salami stuff. So I think they'll go for it. We ready?
Yes, we are ready. Sticks out.
That's fine. They're going right to it. You got one! Oh my gosh, Lydia! That was so quick. Hey, hold on. Go slow. Oh, I gotta turn this. Wow, that was huge! Good job! Hey, hey, hold on. Show me over here.
Good job, Lydia.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
Good job. Let's try
right for it.
The trick is we have to sort of like just put it right around the catfish so we don't catch the koi or anything. Yeah. But you're doing good.
Oh, I feel like I'm gonna get a small.
Ooh, I want that really big one right there. It's okay, if you get a small one, it's fine. That little goldfish goes straight to it.
You dumb goldfish.
Got it!
Wow, you guys are good.
Good job, Lydia. Is it big? Oh. Good job.
Man, they are big and fat, aren't they?
Give me the pliers real quick. This one's not as big. You want to save this one or what?
You can pick.
No way, let's get them all out.
Okay guys, last time we harvested our catfish, a bunch of you wanted to watch me break it down. But since there's a ton of catfish cleaning videos and I know a bunch of you would not like to watch us break it down, I'm just gonna fast forward here to the very end where once I have the fillets, I'll show you what I'm thinking of doing. Now normally when you get to this point, you have the choice to cut the meat from the bone, which I did for the first fish. But I did also read that some people like to fry the fish up just with the bones in it. We used to do that as kids when we caught trout at the lake. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and try it that way as well. So we've got two parts here. We've got one fish that I've completely filleted and then one that I've left with the bone in. So we're gonna fry them up and see how it does. We'll show that later in today's video. It's time to share the sponsor for this video, Storyworth. Storyworth is an online service where your dad or grandpa or really any father figure in your life can share stories through answering some thought-provoking questions. How it works is every week Storyworth sends your dad an email prompt with different unique questions like, what's your favorite story about your father? Or what is the thing you're most proud of in your life? And they better say you. After 1 year, Storyworth will compile all of your dad's stories, including photos, into a book and mail it to you free of charge. It's such a cool way to encourage your parents to write down memories so that you can remember them when they're gone. After being separated from our family so much this last year, Kevin and I have realized how important it is for us to know our parents on an even deeper level. All of the unique questions that Storyworth sends are things that you would have never thought to ask your parents. So it helps unlock stories that you would have never known. Instead of giving your dad socks, give your dad the most meaningful gift this Father's Day with Storyworth. Get started right away without the need for shipping, plus $10 off by going to storyworth.com/weedumandreap.
Luna won't stop running. Okay. So there's been a lot of confusion recently about the eggs that Carlisle and Esme had been parenting. Why are they all chewing on us? She's like in between.
Yeah, we didn't really cover that besides them rolling the 4 eggs out of their nest. But what actually happened was she sat on them for about 30 days and then ate them.
They both ate all of their eggs because when we went to check around the time that they were due to hatch, there were no eggs in the nest at all. We're hoping that by next spring, they'll have a new clutch of eggs and hopefully they won't eat them again.
Now we have Kiwi and her chicks in there instead, and the geese are out here.
We're gonna leave the geese out in the pasture until it's time for them to finally get on another clutch of eggs, which probably won't be until next spring, so.
What's your deal?
Well, the potato plants have fallen over, so it's time to pick the potatoes.
Oh, is that the trick?
Yep, when they're starting to die back. We also need to dig in here. There's probably some more in here.
She's just a small town girl raised in the South. Heart full of dreams with no one to see what she's all about. He's just a city boy looking for a dream.
Well, not too shabby, guys. We've probably got 20 pounds of potatoes. This row is done, but we did good, huh, Ethan?
Yup, we got a lot of potatoes.
How heavy does that feel?
This feels like 20, 30 pounds,
Nice.
maybe 40.
Cool. We should weigh it and see.
We should.
A few more. Just a few of them sprouted, but not too many, so.
Yeah.
Well, look who grew all these potatoes. Me, I did it. I grew them all by myself, which I'm pretty proud of, guys. So today we're gonna get right to it. I know we're gonna fry fish tonight, and what goes good with fried fish but French fries? So we're going to do some chips or French fries or whatever you call them, but I'm gonna make them a little bit healthier. We're gonna slice them up, kind of quarter them into little wedges. Add some olive oil, bunch of spices, and we're actually gonna cook them in the air fryer today. This will make it so I don't have to fry as many things, and it'll also make it a little bit healthier, I guess. Now there are lots of ways to make a fish batter. You can do a beer batter, you can do a wet batter or a dry batter. I'm gonna go with my very basic cornmeal batter, the one I grew up on. It tastes the best to me. So we've got some flour, some cornmeal, onion powder, garlic powder, some Old Bay seasoning, just as many spices and seasonings as you can. And then we'll crack 2 eggs from our chickens and just a little bit of milk from this morning, and we'll start a dredging. I ended up cutting the bone-in piece completely in half with kitchen shears, just so I had 2 pieces and I could, fry them both at the same time. One of them started to curl, so Kevin made me put another pan on top, but it actually worked pretty good, so good job, Kevin. I love fried fish. I love it. I could probably eat it every day, but I don't, but I could. And it's the perfect summer dish, along with a few fresh tomatoes from the garden. I think coleslaw goes best with fish and chips, but we've got just a really light salad tonight, some air fried French fries, and the fish. And oh my gosh, guys, it totally worked to keep the bone in. We got a little bit more meat than we normally would, and it came off really easily. So I think I'm gonna do this from now on. It may be a little bit redneck, but that's okay. I can be redneck. All right, Kevin, everybody wants to know, how did you make this awesome shade structure?
So the specifics are use 2.5-inch pipe, at least 12 gauge, but then you use these Tinker Toy-like fittings for the corners and the middle pieces, and they just tighten really good with an Allen wrench, and they're really strong. Finally found them at Granger. it wasn't too bad. And just lots and lots of concrete on the corners just to make it super, super immovable.
So you built the frame and then you got custom made shade material.
Yeah, you can get shade fabric from any company. Like you can go on Amazon and you can see what companies get the best reviews, and then you can order the exact size you want. And if they don't have your size on Amazon or the color you want, you know, you contact the company like I did. I had to contact them personally because she wanted gray color.
Yeah, we had to match the house, make it look a little bit nicer. And then you pulled it really tight. These had grommets all around the edges. And then you use these little ball, what are those called?
The bungee tie things, bungee ball ties. And oh, and also I put a wire from corner to corner as well, just to give extra reinforcement to keep the shade really tight and prevent sagging.
Cool. So the 4 posts, very furthest 4 posts are all put in concrete, and then the 2 middle ones are bolted. That's bolted to the deck and that's bolted to rock. So she's not going anywhere.
No.
Well guys, today I set out to do something that was really hard. I decided to shave 6 more goats now. Remember, I've already shaved Tatum and Daphne from doing the show last week, but I needed to take better pictures of my goats. I didn't really do that great. The first round, I didn't cut them as short as I was supposed to do. So I decided, you know what? I need to just do this before the summer hits anyway. I'm gonna start shaving these goats. First up was Hazel, and she didn't like any of it. She didn't like being washed. She didn't like being cut. She was probably the worst one. I don't know why, because she's such a sweet goat normally and like super easy to milk, but no, she didn't like it at all. But she looks great. This is the final picture I got of her, and yeah, she looks awesome. Next up was Napoleon. You know, he definitely hated the bath, every part of it, everything about it, anything to do with water or soap. But when I had him on the stand, he did really good. He was such a sweetie. I didn't get to really film it, but this is how he looked before, and this is the final picture that we got of him. Isn't he cute? I love him. He looks so good, and he's gonna be such a good breeding buck when he gets just a little bit older. Now, Tilly, she definitely didn't like the bath. I mean, I don't think any goats like the bath, but she did pretty good on the stand. She sat there for me and let me shave her down. Didn't move too much. She looks about the same underneath, you know? Tilly doesn't look that different. She already has a very short coat to begin with. So she just needed a little bit of cleanup here and there. She looks beautiful. I'm so happy with her. She's produced so many cute babies for us, and they've had such great body structure. Even though she's probably not the perfect goat, she seems to throw a lot of beautiful babies. Next was Fern, and boy did Fern hate everything. She hated being shampooed. She hated being cut. She was not a joy to cut. But it's all over now. She's beautiful and amazing, like always. And I'm really excited to see her bred with Zorro this year. She's gonna have some amazing babies. Next up was little Olive. She of course didn't like the bath, but she was the sweetest little darling that stood there so quietly and didn't move a muscle. She just let me shave every inch of her, didn't care at all, and oh my gosh, it made such a difference. It was so much easier to cut her than all the others. And Olive looks so beautiful. Get all that dusty, long baby hair off, and she just looks amazing. I'm so excited for all of her width that she has. She's gonna bring a lot of good genetics to our farm, so I'm really excited. And finally, it was Zorro's turn. Now Zorro, he did great in the beginning, except at one point he completely broke the carabiner that I had him attached to, and he ran off into the yard. But thankfully, Luna helped me out, and she, you know, knocked him my way and let me get him back. So thank goodness for her. When I shaved Zorro, he looked so different underneath. It was crazy. He has a lot more of a darker base coat with a little reddish on the top, so he's a chocolate buck, so he has some variation of browns and blacks in him. That's kind of why he looks different now that he's shaved. But look how cute he looks. So really the purpose of shaving down your goats is less about making them cooler for the summer and more about really getting a good picture of their body structure at the different stages in their lives. So as you guys know, I'm trying to really focus on genetics and producing better quality goats that have easier deliveries. And so it's very important for me to get a really clear shot of what they look like, and also so that other people can see what they're buying in terms of baby goats. They want to see what the mom looks like and the dad looks like, and make sure that it has the correct body structure that they're going for in their herds. So now I'm so excited because I've got my herd website all set up. I've got my senior does, which are Tilly and Fern, and then I've got my little junior does, which are Tatum and Daphne and Olive, and then I've got my 2 bucks, which are Zorro and Napoleon. Now I have to give some honorable mentions here to the goats on our farm that aren't going to be bred this year. Mr. Winston, of course, is beautiful, and so are Winnie and Willow, but none of them are going to be bred. They unfortunately carry that bad leg gene that we don't like, and we want them to just have a happy, healthy life without the stress of breeding or producing more babies like them. As far as Big Luna though, she's definitely retired, so she's not going to be featured on our website, but she's featured on our YouTube channel instead. And don't tell any of the other goats, but she's my favorite. Dang it, I woke her up. I can't say her name or else she'll wake up more. Our new puppy, we haven't been letting her go on the carpet because she's not 100% house trained, but she's gotten a lot better recently. So because we've been so good about teaching her to not get on the carpet, she doesn't want to get on the carpet even now that we want her to. So we've been letting her, you know, get her feet on. We're showing her you can put your feet on the carpet if you want. And so now when she sleeps, she sleeps half on and half off.
Oh, you can't even see the other half of her.
Which is actually sort of perfect because then she can have the coolness of the tile and the softness of the carpet. But I'm excited that she's finally now 6 months old, house trained. You can go on the carpet. You can go on if you want. You have to give Salem big hugs. She loves hugs. Guys, if you come over to our house and you don't hug her, she gets really upset. So you gotta go like this. Big hug, like this, oops. And then she leans back into you. You love big hugs. Yes, you do. Salem. Are you excited?
Yay! Salem has graduated and we can trust her to not tear up stuff in the backyard. Problem is, the doggy door is small, so I have to take out the existing doggy door and install a bigger one. And I may even have to install another size bigger as she gets full grown. This is exciting because she is progressing, she's getting really smart, and we're happy she can be back there and have fun, get exercise. We don't have to worry about her destroying any of our trees or anything.
Kevin, now she doesn't want to come out. Come on, Salem, come on. Are you tired? Look, go outside, go outside.
Okay, come on, let's go. It's fun, come on.
Come on. Come on, good girl, come on, come on. Did you come through the other door?
Come on, Salem! Come on, Salem! Yay!
Good job. Thanks for watching today's video, guys. If you want to watch the video when we first got these catfish and they were really small, click right here.